Hey y'all, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this one. I got a custom order for a pink camo beanie type vibe, and this is what I came up with. So I'm bringing y'all along for the ride. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm just going to measure the hat really quick so you got a good idea of how long it is. So it's about the top, about 7.5 inches without folding it. When folded, it's about, go from the top, almost 6 inches. Okay, so keep in mind when you're making it, I measured out the head, so the head size for me was about 17 inches. Okay, so you're going to need your camouflage yarn, your army fatigue, however you go by. I got this from Joann. This is the Red Heart Super Saver yarn in camouflage. If you want something a little bit more smooth, I'll say, to work with, I would say get the camo yarn from Hobby Lobby. I'll link it right here. But it's just that I felt that pattern didn't go well with the pink. So I just got this one from Red Heart. Okay, so once you have that, so I just got 2 shades of pink yarn for the project, a weight 4. It could be, you could use Big Twist, hot pink. You could use any light pink yarn, or even if you want to use a multicolor pink yarn, just make sure that it's a weight 4 and have fun with it. Be creative. Of course, you're going to need your 4.0 millimeter hook, measuring tape, scissors, tapestry needle. Can y'all see that? A tapestry needle. We're going to take our camo yarn, and y'all know per usual what we do. We create our slip knot. So if I could get there. Y'all, this is the first time I'm actually talking while doing this. I usually just do a voiceover, so bear with me. I promise I got y'all. So for the slip knot, we're just going to take our yarn and we're going to wrap it around our finger, right? And then we're going to take the loop on top, bring it through this loop, and pull it tight, okay? I'll show y'all that again because that one was a little funky. All right, you're going to take your yarn like this, wrap it around your finger, cross it over like that. So now you have this loop, and you're going to take this loop that's crossed over and bring it through this loop, and as you're pulling it, you're just going to pull tightly like that. Okay, and there's our slip knot. So now we're going to take our 4.0 millimeter hook and we're going to place it in a loop. Just pull onto that yarn so that it tightens up. And now we're going to chain up 36 chains. So to do a chain, you're going to take your hook, wrap it around the yarn, and bring that loop through your first loop for your first chain. Okay? Wrap it around and pull that loop through the second one. And that's 2 chains. Now we just have 34 left. So I'm going to do 34 more and I'll meet you back here. Okay. Now here we have our 36 chains. What we're going to do is create 30 half double crochets. So just as a regular beanie, but we're going to skip this first hook. We're going to skip this first chain and go into the second chain from the hook with our first half double crochet. So we're going to wrap it around, insert into that second chain, pull up 1 loop. Now you should have 3 loops on your hook. Now we're just going to wrap it around and pull through all 3. And that's your first half double crochet. Right? Wrap it around, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, wrap it around, pull through all 3 loops. Okay? And we're just going to do 30 total of these. So you should be left with 5 chains after doing 30 half double crochets. Okay, and then we're left with 5 chains. Now we're left with 5 chains. So now, as you probably know already, we're just going to insert 5 single crochets in these last 5 chain stitches. So to do a single crochet, you'll just insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop, wrap it around, and pull it through 2. To do the next one, we're just going to insert our hook in the next loop, pull up a loop, wrap around, pull through 2. Okay, insert, pull up a loop, wrap around, pull through 2. Okay. All right, so we're all finished with row 1. So in total, you should have 35 stitches, 30 half double crochets, and the last 5 were all single crochets. Okay. Now we're just going to chain 1, turn our work. Okay, and then we're going to work in the back loops only from now on. Back loops only. So we're going to do 5 single crochets in the next 5 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for the remaining 30, we're going to do 30 half double crochets in the back loops only. Okay, so you're going to wrap around, insert your loop, insert your hook into that back loop, wrap around, pull through 3, and you're just going to do the same thing in the back loops only for the remainder of the row, and I'll meet y'all at the end. Okay, now our second row. Okay, now our second row is complete. Okay, now we're ready for row 3, which is going to be the same pattern. You're just going to chain 1, and as you can see, we have 30 half double crochets, and then we end with 5 single crochets. And then when you start the next row, you'll do 5 single crochets, and then the rest of the row you'll do 30 half double crochets. Okay, so for row 3, I'll just show you what we'll do for row 3. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, working in the back loops only. We're going to do 30 half double crochets. Okay, we did our 30 half double crochets. Now we're just going to do our 5 single crochets at the tippy top and back loops only. Okay, so that's the pattern that you're going to do for the remainder of the hat, even when we switch to different colors. You're going to do in row 4, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, do 5 single crochets, and then you're going to do 30 half double crochets, chain 1, turn your work, and then for row 5 it'll be 30 half double crochets and with your 5 single crochets, and so on. You'll just keep repeating that same pattern that we just did, and you're going to do that for 11 more rows so that you have 14 rows total. Okay, now that we have our 14 rows, now it's time for a color switch. Okay, so I'm going to take, so our hat is going to measure out to be about 17 to 18 inches. But now we're going to do our color switch. So I'm taking my light pink. You could do dark pink, but I'm taking my light pink yarn and I'm going to do a color change. So with my color change, this is just how I'll do it since we're starting at the bottom. I'm going to take my other yarn, create a slip knot. Okay. And then I'm going to take my beanie that's halfway, and I'm going to insert my hook into the loop, attach my pink yarn, okay, and then I'm just going to pull that through, right? Okay. And then I'm going to just pull the camo yarn tightly so that it's tight. Now I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to continue my pattern as normal. Wrap it around, insert my hook. I'm going to be picking up that tail too as I'm crocheting so that I could tuck it while I go along. You could do this, or you could wait until the end to tuck all your tails, but I'm just going to be grabbing that tail, grabbing my other yarn, pulling it through, wrapping around, pulling through all three. And I'm just going to continue with the pattern all the way down, doing my 30 half double crochets and my 5 single crochets. Now that's our pink. All right. And this here, I'm just going to take and cut this as long as I can so that way I can tuck the tail once we're all done. So I'm just going to cut it for as comfortable as you may wish so that you can tuck the tail at the end. Okay, I'm going to prepare for my next color change. So I'm just going to take and cut this here. All right, and I'm going to get my camo yarn. Just create another slip knot. If you have another way of changing colors or switching colors out, you can do that your way as well. You can even teach me and show me what way do you use. I know a lot of people might use the magic knot, but feel free to let me know in the comments what y'all do to change or switch out your colors. So with this, I'm just going to, my hook is already in the pink, so I'm going to take my camo yarn, put that on top. Okay. Pull that hook right through, or pull that loop through. Okay. And then I'm going to chain one. I'm going to pull that pink so it's tight. Turn my work. And then this go around, I'm just going to tuck my camo yarn with this one. Now just repeat the same pattern and I'll meet y'all at the end for another color change. Now, getting fun, we're going to take our next color pink, our dark pink, multicolored pink, whatever you have, and we're going to prepare for another color switch. I know y'all, I know, a lot of color changes, but this is what makes the head. So, create the slip knot. Then as usual, pull that yarn straight through, like so. Pull that camo yarn, so it's tight, chain one, turn your work, and this time I'm going to be hiding this tail. Don't worry about the tails because you can always hide them at the end, but if you want to do like me, we're just going to hide the dark pink since we're using dark pink, okay? And then we're just going to do the same pattern. Okay, now we're done with that color. If you flip it over, this is what it looks like. It's so beautiful. But now we're going to do another color change, y'all. Back to our camo yarn. So we're just going to cut this. Cut it as long as you wish to hide the tail. Back to our camo. Create a slip knot. Okay. Insert your hook. Grab your yarn. Pull it through. Pull that pink one. Chain one. Turn your work. Okay. And now take our camo yarn and tuck that bad boy in. Okay, now we have that one, and then you're just gonna do 13 more rows, okay? So like we have 14 here with the camo, we're gonna have 14 total on the other side with the camo. Then we're gonna do our pink, camo, pink, and close it up. So you're just gonna do 13 more rows from here, and I'll meet y'all back once y'all finish. Okay, so now we have our 14 on the other side. So we have 14 here and 14 on the other side. So I'm going to go back in with my pink, right? Yep, dark pink here, light dark pink, and then light pink up front. So I'm going to take my dark pink. I showed you guys how to do the color changes. So next what we're going to do is switch our color to pink, do one full row, switch back to our camo, like here, and then the following row will be the light pink. Okay, I don't know, I don't want to be repetitive and do the same thing, so it'll just be, you'll color change like we did before, complete that, and then I'll meet you back here to close up our hat and put on our pom-poms. Okay, so after we did our last 3 rows, we're just going to get our measuring tape. Now for my order, her nieces had measured out to be about 17 inches. Okay, so not stretched. It's a little over 13. So I'm just gonna stretch it, stretch the project. And it's hitting 17, a little over 17. And yeah, y'all, so we got it. And we're just gonna close our baby. You're gonna choose which side you want to be the inside and which side you want to be the outside. I know for some people it doesn't matter, but for me it does make a difference, because I feel like if I flip this on this side, to me, the colors pop just a little bit more. So figure out which side you want to be the inside, which side you want to be the outside. So because I want this to be the outside and I'm going to have to flip it inside out, I'm just going to fold it here, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to insert my hook at the bottom, right? Put my hook through that loop. And I'm going to chain up one first and then pull that through the first loop. Now we're just going to do single crochets to close the row. So I'll go from one panel to the other, just connecting them. So I'll go through the next loop, just here. And then I'm going to insert it through this front loop now here. Not the back loop. I know I said back loop, but we're going to insert through the front loop here. Pull through two, wrap it around, pull through two, okay? It's too early to tell, but we're just going to keep doing that. So go do your next loop, and then the front loop, pull through two, wrap it around, pull through two. Okay, next one, insert through that loop, insert through the front loop on the other side, grab that yarn, pull through two, wrap around, pull through two. Okay, and then we're just going to keep doing that, y'all, going all the way down this row, going through both panels, single crochets, all the way down. Okay, so I'll meet y'all once I get to, I guess like, probably like the third stitch, close to the end. The third stitch from the end, I'll meet y'all, so I can show y'all how the top goes. It's pretty simple, but I'll meet y'all there. See y'all soon. Around, pull through two, insert here. Hope y'all can see, grab that loop, pull it up, and then the very tippy top, I'm gonna go to the very tippy top stitch on both ends. Doesn't have to be perfect. Pull through two, okay? Now our head is closed. So cute. And now I'm just gonna cut that strand. We got some tails to hide. Then I'm going to take my yarn, chain up one, tighten, okay? Now if we wanna flip your head inside out, just so you could see, you see the seam on this side, right? But we flip it inside out, and bam. Can't even tell, you can't even see it. Can't even see the difference, okay? Now we're gonna just close our top. Let me get my yarn. So to close the top, we're gonna take our camo yarn, our tapestry needle, and we're just going to bring the yarn through the tapestry needle. What I usually do is I just twist it at the top as close as I can, pull that through. Okay. All right. And you just want to get it as long as you think you'll need to do the entire top. I'm extra, so of course mine has to be mad long. But once we get there, once you find the length, just cut your yarn. Oh, that should have been a lot easier. And then we're going to make sure it's even. Right? Make sure it's even all the way through. Now create a knot. Same way you would create a slip knot, just this time pull it through. And then I'm going to create another knot just so that it's nice and secure and tight. Okay. And it goes right on top of that one. Okay. So now we're going to flip our head back to the inside where our seam is at, where we closed it up at. Okay. And all our lovely tails. I'm just gonna push these tails in for now as I go around. Feel free to hide the tails as well before you start this. But I'm going to start from here. I'm going to insert my tapestry needle through like that, and then I'm going to go and pull it. Oops. Pull it through, and then I'm going to insert it through the next side, pull it through, insert that to the next side, pull it through. To speed it up a little bit, you'll just go back and forth. So since we're in the inside, we'll go out, in, out, in, out, and I'm just gonna pull that through, okay, and just go all the way around. So in, out, in, out, in, out, until you can't anymore, pull it through. We're on the out, we're on the outside, so we're gonna go in, out, in, out, in, out, pull it through. Okay, and you can see our hole is starting to close. And you're gonna go in, out, okay? This is my way, okay. Same thing here, in, out, and I'm all the way at where I first started, so I'm just gonna bring that right through again. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip it, take a look at it. It looks like there's no gaps or loops there, but I'm still gonna flip it and see what it looks like. And I still have just a little bit of a hole there, so I'm just gonna go right back around again. Same thing, right back around. So I'm going, but this time I'm just going around the loop. So I'll just keep going around the top of the hat, pulling my yarn through. Okay, keep going around to the top, pull your yarn, keep going around the top, and pull your yarn. Okay. So once I did that, I'm just gonna flip it back, check again. No hole there. Just gotta hide my tails now and put my pom-poms on. All right. So I'll flip it back inside out, and to close this up, I'm just gonna go through the closest loop that I see, put my tapestry needle through, but this time I'm gonna pull that through this big loop so that I can tie a knot. All right, so that it's nice and secure, not going anywhere. And then I'm going to take and cut my yarn. Okay, now this side is a different beast. We're going to have to pull, if you didn't hide your tails already, I'm just going to pull all the tails to the inside of the head. Lines up with the color, so I'm going to pull this through. Pull this one through, making sure it's just on that same side. Okay, I got a few more just to pull through. Come around this side, pull my hole, poke my hole through. Poke my hole through, pull that through, and pull that through. Okay, there we are. Now I just have these tassels. All right, so once you hide all your tails, this is what it should look like. Super cute, super different. And the seam on this side, like, it doesn't really matter because you can't tell just because there's like ribbon. Now I'm just going to add my 2 pom-poms here, and I'll meet y'all back in a second. And here we have it, y'all, our pretty pink camo custom order. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all so much for joining me in this, and I'll see y'all for our next tutorial. Stay tuned.